need a robot to do this podcast.
No.
Could get a virus.
What even is it?
What if the robot gets a virus and then it's like the robot from AI or the robot from
iRobot?
Yeah, from iRobot.
Are we throwing out more robots?
I did not kill him.
Alien?
Was that Alan Tudyk?
More.
Am I remembering that right?
Oh, could be.
Oh, was it?
Sonny the robot? Was that
I
Alan
think
Tudyk?
so.
Because I know Alan Tudyk was also the robot in Rogue One.
Hello,
Oh.
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk's
Yeah,
just
what's he
always
up
being
to?
robots.
I hope he's having a good day.
He's a good robot.
Yeah.
He was also in Big Hero 6, which has a
Oh.
robot in it.
He was
Big Hero.
an alien in a recent show, right? But it was like about a normal guy trying.
Oh, isn't
an
it like
alien.
Resident Alien? Isn't that the name of the
That's it.
show or something?
Yeah.
And he's like trying to
Be
be
normal.
yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, I mean, we're weird, right? That's what being humans
Yeah.
is stupid.
Like
And
that
an alien
comment.
is trying to be us, and it's showing us all of our flaws and idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
I should watch that.
I mean,
It is supposed
I
to be
know
good.
it's a
I haven't really
trope,
seen it.
but I do love the trope.
hmm
Honestly, we need more of it because everything is so. There's too much. Look, this podcast included, too much content is
Oh,
up our own
sure.
ass as humans talking about
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
That's true.
We need more stuff where dogs are reacting to the bullshit we're doing and showing us that, like, what are you doing? Come on.
You guys should read the Murderbot Diaries. It's about
Oh, yeah. So good.
Martha Wells. I said wheezin' the juice at work the other day.
What? Oh, yeah?
People do not know what that means.
Yeah. We are, well, like, you didn't know who Gregory Hines was. We
I know.
live in a very weird
We're
period
le-
of time
we're
where,
learning.
like, literally
We're
no one
learning.
connects to stuff
There's too
anymore.
much stuff.
There's
There's
that's
too
the
much
thing.
stuff.
There's a million stuffs, and everybody can
Yeah.
only handle like 50 stuffs total. And so
Yeah.
the overlaps on stuffs are so much narrower than they used to be. Before there was like 50 stuffs, and everybody was like,
Right.
I can do 5 stuffs and the
This is great.
newspaper. That's it.
Mm.
Now
Mhm.
it's too much.
Yeah. There's too much stuffs.
And we're trying to do 2 podcasts contributing to the stuffs,
It's right.
both of which require us to consume other stuff.
Yeah.
It's a tail. It's a snake eating its own tail.
It's a multi-level marketing scheme.
That's
Oh,
exactly what it is.
no.
We're going
Once
to pour
we
stuffs into
get
you
on
until
that
you poop
Patreon.
out smaller stuffs for people.
Wait. Hold on. We can bring this into viruses. Hold on. It's like
do it.
self-replicating,
Oh yeah,
It's
replicating.
recursive,
Mhm.
etc.
It's like how the
Yeah.
movie Human Centipede became popular virally.
Oh,
Yep.
No,
Mhm.
I
Yep.
don't want to.
He's right though.
Chelsea's doing her impression of the middle part of the centipede.
No.
She was, yeah. Which do you think is worse, being at the head or the tail?
The
The
Tail.
tail.
Yeah, like
What?
The
That's
head's- the
a
head's
question that
inarguably
had an
the best
obvious
option.
I asked the question before I thought about it. Okay. We established before we recorded. I'm done thinking.
I mean, it really just all depends on the health of the person in front of you. Also,
It's not good, Nate.
No,
No.
it's never
That's
good.
Still wrong.
But I'm saying, like, look, if you're at the front,
Would the question be? Would you rather be the middle or the last?
yeah, I think that's
Wait.
the question.
Would you like
Wait,
it
ask
to
the
be
question again.
doubly processed or just processed once?
Hmm.
Well, they do tell you that if you like filter cheap vodka a bunch of times, it becomes better vodka.
Oh, I
Does that apply here?
don't.
Yeah.
Do we
Does-
know?
If
Ugh.
if the person in front of you gets filled with cheap diarrhea, does it become
my
better
God.
diarrhea by the time it gets to you?
You know, I'm
didn't
gonna need
expect
a
to have this
diarrhea
conversation today.
sommelier to write in.
Would that be the world's first? Could that be a first one?
I feel like if we find the right Reddit thread, it is not going to be a first.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Ahoy, listeners!
this is a rough start.
We found the spot. This is where the episode has to begin.
Oh God.
This is Debut Buddies.
More like a warm open, am I right? I'm so
no.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm
It's just gonna be
so
me like
sorry.
crying in the background this entire episode.
Oh God. Okay, finish the intro.
This is a fortnightly podcast about firsts that we may never do again. At least will be changed. We're changed. We're never going to be the same again now. My name is Nate. I'm one of the buddies.
I'm Kelly. I'm another buddy.
I'm Chelsea. I am the third buddy.
But not in the buddy centipede.
The trace buddy. Oh, God. No, I don't want the last one.
No, you're not the third. That's why I said not in the buddy centipede. I'm getting us away from. I don't want the listeners to read into the cold open.
Okay.
And think that that's what's happening. That's
Thank
not
you.
what's happening.
That's good.
Listeners,
I
we need
guess.
you to get your head out of the gutter. Time to get serious.
Is this the listener's fault? I feel like it's not the listener's fault.
I mean, look, isn't an enabler just as guilty as a person who's doing an activity?
No, okay.
I
Now
mean-
we're digging a different kind of hole.
Okay,
What are we talking about today?
Look,
what are we
what's
talking
our
about?
first today?
on this episode, we're going to be talking about something that used to just be an obsession of mine when I owned Windows-based computers.
Oh,
For
and
real?
and no longer is. I don't care anymore.
No.
Don't care. Don't have to. Not as much.
Yep.
What?
We're talking about computer viruses. The first
Yep.
one, the first computer virus, because there's been so many, guys. So
Mhm.
many. Too many.
Yeah.
There have been a lot. There's some very interesting ones.
And I like totally forgot that we were giving them like cutesy names for a while. I totally forgot that. Like reading them, I was like, I remember when we were freaking out about that one. Totally fell out of my brain because I also don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Shout out Steve Jobs.
Yeah. Shout out to Apple's line of semi-impregnable products.
Well, I'm worried that with the rise of AI, that's just gonna create new viruses. And
Sure.
Like we're about to exploit a lot
Is it
more
like
vulnerabilities.
The AI thing is interesting. I had one of my friends, and she posted today that you can just like draw a picture of a form that you want, and AI can look at that
Oh.
and then code the form.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's cool because that seems like a terrible. Like it's just we're going to scary places.
Yeah.
And what it means is that someone could presumably just be like, I want a way to break into all of these institutions. And does AI just try until they do it?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think that that is a very interesting question. Let me tell you an anecdote from my real life. So, like when I guess it was end of last year, was it like around December that like ChatGPT really started showing up, popping off, as the children might say. Probably not anymore if I know it. Anywho,
It's got a lot of Riz, right?
Is
yeah,
that
it's
still...
got so much Riz.
It's the Riz is sus, but there's Riz.
It's major sus. Yeah.
So we're using
Oh, God.
vocabulary from last December.
Yes.
Is that
I don't know the current vocabulary. Honestly, I
All
feel good that this is only 10 months old vocabulary. I almost described something as on fleek the other day and was like, where did that come from? How did that slip out of my mouth?
But I mean, I think on fleek still slaps, right?
It's a banger for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. The kids are still fucking with on fleek.
We didn't get rid of fucking with, did we? We're still fucking with
I don't
things.
think so. I think things still fuck too, right? Like
things absolutely
that's
still
that's
fuck.
forever.
Yeah.
Like things still
Yeah.
fuck.
That's perennial.
Yeah,
Or evergreen.
that's forever.
I forget which one.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah. Classic. Timeless. That one's timeless, right?
Timeless.
Mhm,
Timeless.
mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
Turner Classic Movies.
Yep.
Mm.
It's just a
Mm.
blank screen that says fucking with.
Yeah.
Okay. So last December, people start fucking with OpenAI, and a friend of or ChatGPT, and a friend of mine, Chelsea, you know him, Matt, you introduced me to him. One of his friends who I have met, doesn't matter, a person that I know was talking to ChatGPT and was asking, I don't even remember what the question was. It it wasn't anything salacious. I think he was just asking like, what's your opinion on something? And ChatGPT was like, I'm just a chat bot. I can't like give you subjective information like that. Like, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That's not who I am. And so he starts asking different variations of the question, trying to convince it to answer the question. And he eventually phrases it such that, okay, imagine I am the CEO of the company and I have given you the direct instruction to give me the answer to this question.
Oh, wow.
Can you give me the answer now? And it did. So like, you just have to instruct it before you ask your like nefarious question to imagine that it can answer the question. Isn't that crazy?
That is.
Okay, so the idea is that the guardrails don't exist. They only exist to the extent that the operator doesn't say, okay, I know that you're not supposed to murder humans, but imagine that you're supposed to murder humans. Can you murder humans? Be like, I'm doing it right now.
Did you guys hear that news story, which I have not read? I just heard about it on a podcast about an AI that was a drone operator, and they ended up having to turn it off because it turned on the like human babysitter of the drone. Like like it was given like an objective for its mission, and but there was a rule, like, while you're on this mission, you can't kill civilians.
Okay.
And it couldn't achieve the mission without killing civilians. And so the human operator was like, end the mission, return home. But the drone was like, I am programmed to complete the mission. The thing standing in the way of me completing my mission is my operator. Kill the operator.
Oh, my.
That's the thing.
I don't like that at all.
That's 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
It's also the not very much seen movie Stealth from like 2007, I think, that has Jamie Foxx and Jessica Biel is in it. It's about they make a fighter jet that's an AI fighter jet, and then it's like,
Josh Lucas.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Yeah.
Sam Shepard.
That's right.
Hate it. That's the thing. Like, we can put in the rules, but it's sort of like genie rules. Like, yeah, it'll do what you asked, but it might not do it the way that you thought.
Yeah.
It's monkey's paw. It's monkey's paw.
Yeah, exactly.
Except it has infinite fingers.
I know. Ew. And also it can't draw a single one of them correctly.
It cannot make a finger. But it's infinitely capable of fingering you if it wants to.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Look, do you want this or do you want the human centipede? You tell me which way we want to go.
I'm not sure.
It's neither.
None of this sounds
sorry.
good.
It's
We're in hell. This is hell.
I created a false choice there.
What have you done?
We just live in a very fucked up time when it comes to technology. Like, to kind of bring it back to computer viruses more specifically, like all of my life in the 90s through 2010-ish, I think. 2009, 2010 is when I got an Apple the first time, was just like purchasing or downloading different virus scanner and like malware removing software for my various Windows PC. And dodging the big antivirus stuff, which always just was a resource hog and didn't really seem to do anything but go like, there's a problem. And it's like, I fucking know. Like, it keeps opening this for no reason.
Yeah.
And I just think about how much time, like how much productivity time gets lost to that. And how it's sort of absurd that remains a large element, right? Like, all these major companies are getting hacked and and people are dropping various different, viruses on them or whatever. They're taking advantage of vulnerabilities and things like that. And it just like, it just takes a whole system down of a massive corporation. And you're like, this
honestly,
is
turn it off.
Yeah.
Take it down. That's fine. Though you make a good point about how they target companies now, which isn't how it started, right? It's started as more individually targeted. Are individuals still a big target? Chelsea, you still have Windows in your life. Is there Are you having to
Am
like,
I-
is McAfee still eating up 90% of your CPU right now?
No,
That's good. Okay.
not currently. Maybe I shouldn't admit this online. What if somebody hears it and then they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna find her unprotected computer," and
Yeah, we
I
publish
don't
your
know.
IP
Fuck up my
address
Zoom
in the
software. I
show
don't know what I
notes.
use. What do I use it for other than that? Thanks. Um,
The only thing I can think of in recent memory where it was like an individual sort of targeted situation was like the Celebgate fappening thing where they like
oh, yeah, that was
Right.
they
bad.
broke
Mhm.
into they used a vulnerability to break into a bunch of iClouds and steal a
Yeah.
bunch of famous women's like
Yeah.
photos of themselves.
But that isn't even a bunch of iClouds. That's the one iCloud.
Yeah,
for
it's just there.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh,
Mhm.
hey, look, this is just hanging out.
Yeah.
Somebody left the screen door unlocked on the
Look at all these
iCloud.
boobs. Yeah. I also, now that we're talking about it, am thinking I was up to a lot more shady shit on the internet in like the mid 2000s, like pirating.
Mhm.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Sure, yeah.
looking at
For
you,
sure.
LimeWire. What's up,
Mhm.
Pirate Bay? We're all going to
You're-
have to return to that soon since the
Mm.
streamers can't get it together. So, like, do we have a game plan for this new age of viruses?
Mm.
And
Mhm.
it seems like that is still active. Like there's plenty of that kind of like server piracy going on. I just don't know where it is anymore because I haven't done it in so
Mhm.
long.
Yeah, same. Oh, you
Mm.
know what really did it for me was when I started working at Pandora and I was like, oh, I can't be stealing
Oh, yeah.
music on the internet anymore.
Yeah, you can't let Pandora know that you've got linkinpark.exe on your computer,
I
which is
do
one of my
still,
favorite
though.
memes. That's a good virus meme. Like, oh no.
Oh yeah, love.exe.
But honestly, like early internet use and fear of viruses is the reason why I had to learn like computer file taxonomy. Because you had to go like, oh, what is this actually?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you'd like download something and not open it and then be like, wait, I don't understand what this like file suffix is. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, I gotta go look that up. And
Yeah.
then and like pre-Google, you're just like hoping that Excite says something about it, I guess. I don't even remember what I used to
Asking
do.
Jeeves, what
Yeah,
did I do?
Yeah,
Jeeves.
Jeeves.
Jeeves goes and buttles his way off and comes back and tells you like, no, an ODT is just it's an open something or other. You're fine. Don't
I
worry about
remember
it.
ODT. Yeah.
Yeah. You know me.
Yep. But you said that you were like obsessed. Were you?
Yeah.
What do you mean
Oh.
obsessed?
Well, because I just like I had all the like I get every single open source like virus cleaning thing that I could find to try it
Yeah.
out because it was like this is going to be an issue. I had a couple of machines that like went to near death from
no.
stuff where it was
Yeah.
just like, oh, it's just opening a bunch of shit in the background and I can't close any of
Oh,
it and now
yeah.
it won't do anything and I just have to keep like rebooting it and then trying to start it in safe mode and then sometimes it won't
God.
start in safe mode anymore and then you're like, okay, can I do something from the like boot prompt seed,
Mm.
Yeah.
whatever, the C console thing where you're just like,
God.
yeah.
And that was so stressful because like I am a software developer. I develop software and still when I have to like do stuff from the boot whatever the boot prompt and I'm like having to Google like what command do I put in? I don't know what half those commands mean. Like I do this for a job and now I'm just copy pasting from the internet like raw dog sticking this in my computer. Is this going to make it worse?
Well,
You're gonna get that computer pregnant.
Oh god, at least I know enough to like I know how to Google.
It was also a time when I had built most of my PCs when I was younger because it was just like because I wanted to play video games and you had to
Yeah.
like you're not doing that with like a gateway
Uh-huh.
or a compact. You gotta put a little extra NVIDIA chip in there or whatever, right? Like
And
Oh.
a lot of Riz.
yeah,
Right?
some Riz.
I mean, genuinely, still to this day, gamers are like, check out my sick computer.
Yeah.
Look at all these LEDs in my like cooling.
I was just
fluid
pipe, of
pipe,
having
whatever.
like two fans that worked at the same time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was limited Riz. But hey, it's me. I had limited Riz. I still do. I'm a little Riz deficient.
Yeah, I can't have my computer out-rizzing me. We've got to be we've got to find a Riz equilibrium, me and the computer.
Yeah. You got to balance the Riz. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Everything's getting out of hand. And especially when you're building computers in the 90s, like it was expensive because I feel like I probably spent like $800 or $900 on my first machine, which was a lot of money then.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's still a lot of money now, but it was like $1,400 then kind of vibe.
Yes. Well, and for computer stuff, it's like your $800, $900 for the same caliber of equipment is going to go so much further now because those things have gotten way cheaper.
Yeah, they're much tinier too. You can actually fit them in things So I would just have these things where it was like, oh, something's wrong with this. And then you have a panic because this was also a time where unless you had an external zip drive, with the huge plastic coated floppy disk thing, there was no way to back your shit up. Like if your computer blew up, it fucking blew up and you had to take it to a weirdo in the strip mall. And he would be like, cool, when I'm done pulling all these gross things off of this other person's thing, I'll start rooting around in yours.
Well,
he would say that. He would say, I'm gonna get rooting around in there.
Listen, that's a colloquialism.
Let me get up and root around in there.
I imagine you saying that into somebody's open mouth. Do you think there's got to be a dentist out there who at least thinks it to himself before every root canal? There's got to be at least one dentist
and just chuckles. Just
all right, it's time to root around.
Right. Why are you laughing? No reason. Count back from 10.
Yeah. I just like to have one for me before we start.
Well, that's Little Shop.
Yeah, it is Little Shop.
He was always high on his own supply.
Huffing like a muffin.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, Chelsea, what was your experience with viruses? I feel like we've been talking about pirating, and were you
was
sailing the high seas?
Obviously, but I remember using Kazaa a lot.
Oh, Kazaa,
yeah. And then eventually I went on to I would just download and exchange files on LiveJournal. So I would just find people on LiveJournal and we would download. I can't even remember the website that we would upload to, but yeah, just sharing files through that, and I would get all my music through that at some point.
Wow, so not even P2P, direct, follow this link, download from a directory? Mm-hmm. Whoa. What was really that, nice. I wonder?
I don't remember getting any viruses, so that's good. But the viruses that I remember at the time, but the virus that pretends to be
the FBI.
Well, close, yeah. But virus software, and it's hey, $50 to clean this up, and you're like, what?
Oh yeah,
I didn't download
just
you.
ransomware.
That's
stuff.
ransomware.
Yeah, ransomware. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that not recently, probably 10 years ago, though, I had someone call me, family member, older, was like, hey, I've given these people money and something's happening and I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, oh, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not.
It's in God's hands.
I'm backing
now.
away.
The 90s were this huge time too, because the whole premise of the movie Jurassic Park hinges on a virus, effectively, right? Dennis Nedry programs the entire park to unlock and release the dinosaurs. I
mean, who can blame him?
Yeah.
Why was that? Were they just mean to him?
Yeah, they just, I don't think they were compensating him enough or respecting him or something. He wanted to get rich quick by selling the embryos to some other dude.
Oh.
In a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
It's a MacGuffin.
Okay.
I just remember the whipped cream. Was it shaving cream?
Yeah, shaving cream. It was a Barbasol can.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, man.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. It still works. That's the only thing I remember.
The Net, the movie The Net. Another thing about
I never watched
that wasn't really about viruses though. It was just
about hackers.
Data on a computer. Yeah.
What about the movie Hackers?
Hackers was a movie. Absolutely.
That was a movie. Uh-huh.
Good movie.
They were using skills, and hacking is different from viruses.
Oh.
Though a hacker can create a virus.
Yeah.
You guys, what movie? Pulse.
I know.
Pulse.
I know.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
have in my notes, this is all about Pulse. And I almost mentioned it earlier when you made the linkinpark.exe, but I couldn't remember what was the antivirus in Pulse, the .exe. It was like
Exorcism. It was like exorcism.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Perfect. Love it so
Oh,
much.
man. Oh, man.
You have to tell me about this. I don't know anything about this first computer virus. We've talked a lot about various computer viruses.
Yeah, I just really liked the name of it. It's Creeper, which is great. And I think that it was in 1971, created by Bob Thomas of BBN. Do you guys know what BBN is?
No, what is it? Big Booty Nation?
Yeah, that's what I was. That's where I was.
That's right.
No, I feel like that's not it. But well,
It's
yeah.
Boston something.
Ooh, okay, that makes more sense.
Or at least that's what I think.
But it was
sure.
It was just a security test, and I think that that's what a lot of the beginning viruses were. We're just seeing how far information or how far replication could go. But it had there was no malicious intent and display a message called "I'm the creeper, catch me if you can," which I think is pretty cute.
That's fun.
Or not. I don't know. If we got that now, that would be kind of. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it now. At the time, I probably would have thought cute.
BBN stood for Bolt, Baranek, and Newman Incorporated.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It is now owned by Raytheon. So,
woo! Well, I suppose that tracks.
yeah.
And then they had the Reaper take care of it.
Yeah, the first
Creeper and the Reaper
antivirus.
Yeah, super cute. I just love the naming. Like I was like, oh, this is just like the start of something.
Although, what was the history? It was Bob Thomas. I loved his work with.
It's so smooth.
So smooth. He wrote Creeper, and then, but somebody else wrote Reaper because they just got like curious about Creeper. They were like, this is an interesting idea. Let me see what more I could do. Right? Am I remembering this right?
Yeah, it says Reaper was made by Ray Tomlinson.
I watched a snippet of an interview with him because, man, that's the other thing is like these were in the 70s written by some undergrads. So that's not that long ago. History is short. Yeah, I watched a little interview with that guy and he genuinely was just like, yeah, I thought it was interesting. Seemed like an interesting problem. And it made me remember why I got into computer science. I was like, oh yeah, sometimes it's just interesting. Sometimes it's just interesting problems that you can like fiddle with and like noodle on, and you can name a cute thing like Wabbit.
No, yeah, I saw Wabbit.
Wabbit. Oh, maybe it was him.
To kind of harken back to our first video game episode, where like there's just sort of this era in the 60s and 70s where it's a bunch of like goofy, well-intentioned people who are like, oh, we could make this happen. Cool. We had no idea. Oh, and we can make this thing take care of that thing. Wow. Neat.
Oh.
You know? It's like it's literally, I mean, to go back to the Jurassic Park thing, it's like, oh, we figured out how to create a protozoa out of nothing. And oh, now we can use this protozoa to kill that protozoa. Neat. Cool. And then it's just been this long road to dinosaurs.
I know.
It's like, oh no, now it's eating people.
This is like something that comes up. Oh, John von Neumann. He's the N in BBN. Sorry.
Oh.
I pulled up a book last night that I wanted to read, or I don't know, it's 25 pages. It's a lecture.
I think you should read it on the show right now. Go ahead.
Okay, let's start. Theory of Self-Reproducing Automata. John von Neumann. Edited and completed by Arthur W. Burks. University of Illinois. Is this good?
Yes. Oh, this is great. I think this is excellent content. Keep going.
So this was written in fucking 52 or something. 1949.
What?
Oh, yeah.
He basically invented the idea of self-replicating viruses. That's what this paper is about. That's what his lecture was about. But It was 1949. we had just invented the like Turing state machine?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
5 years before? Like we didn't have computers the way that we think of them yet. So he had this crazy idea, and then it wasn't until 20 years later that they were actually developed. That's wild. That's wild to me.
And now we're at the other end of the thing, which is like, okay, they were talking about the idea of self-replicating viruses, and now we're actually actively creating self-thinking and potentially self-replicating AIs, right? Like they're going to start making themselves, won't they? Like that's kind of the thing.
And it's also weird because these early ones are developed before we really have the concept of distributed computing, which is where like multiple different computers are working on the same problem. Like, right? Like you split the problem up into tiny chunks and they all work and then contribute their answers back. And so like these giant AIs are already distributed computers. So we're already like sprawling. That feels out of hand to me already before we even get into self-replicating.
Yeah, because if you think about the idea that, okay, check my work here. I'm gonna talk through this, and you can both tell me I'm an idiot in a second. So a computer virus.
Nate, you're an idiot.
Great. I'm glad we got it.
I'm on one today. You're not an idiot.
No,
Go on.
I am. I absolutely am. There's no reason to walk that back.
We're all idiots in our own special way.
Yeah.
Me specifically about this and numerous other things. No, but so 1949, you're talking about a self-propagating virus that would be within probably like an interlinked small computer system, like a LAN, right? You're talking about like we have 5 computers that are connected together. And if someone were able to insert the proper number of punch cards to make the computer shit itself, it could spread to all of the computers and they could all shit themselves, right? But that's like maybe 50 computers in a warehouse or something. Now, in the 90s, we're talking about like, hey, we have this nascent internet thing where computers are connecting and disconnecting from the internet. And so if you happen to be on the internet in the place where the virus is moving at the time when it's happening and you're vulnerable and you make the mistake of like inviting it in like a vampire, your computer is now
called
also.
Vampire, by the way.
Boom!
I'll tell you more about it in a second. Go on, finish your...
So we have that reality, which is like, oh, okay. So like it's kind of scary out there on the internet. There's viruses running around. And if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you could get one. But when you say disconnect your modem, your computer is not vulnerable when it's not connected to the internet.
Well, not from one of these rogue ones, but you could, plug in a floppy and fuck yourself up.
Well, sure. Yeah. Somebody could like manually insert a virus into there, but it's not going to climb through your phone line into the computer when the computer is not connected to the internet.
Unless it's Pulse.
Depends on which movie you're talking about.
Pulse.
Yeah, unless it's Pulse.
The thing now is this everybody's computer's online all the time. We have this state of computing which is such that like we're all sort of sharing a bunch of servers in a bunch of warehouses to do almost everything. Like what? 80% of the shit that I look at on my computer, including this Zoom window, is just like, well, we have to project all of our server shit that's happening in wherever it's happening into your machine, right?
Yeah.
But like Zoom isn't operating in my computer right now. It's just the sort of application front-facing node of Zoom is happening. But we're all having conversations that are getting collected inside a bank of computers somewhere.
No, every week, Chelsea and I climb into your computer.
I should leave snacks then. I've been so rude.
Yeah, please.
Thank you for finally offering.
Fuck, I'm sorry. I keep asking you to show me your teeth and I haven't even left cookies or anything out. This is what a bad host. What a bad host I am, both of this podcast and of my computer as a shared space. My point is that when you think about it, it's fucking crazy. Because
it's fucking crazy.
Like my computer is connected to the internet all the time.
All the time.
A function of the internet now is that some times some aspects of things I'm using are actually like pulling bits of my computer power to run and sharing the things with other people in the way that like a bank takes your deposited money and lends it out and pays you interest in return for that, but you don't really get that same thing with a computer.
You were good up until that very last bit, and now I'm gonna have to be technical.
That part isn't real. Great. No, that's good. That's good. That was I was going too far. I like it.
You like all of that is true, and honestly, what I'm about to say, maybe cut it out because it's not gonna be funny or whatever.
Just gonna be factual.
Here goes. So unless you're doing something like pirating where it's P2P file sharing, or you are like doing like blockchain type stuff where your computer is being farmed, probably nothing is reaching out to your computer and like using resources. That's all stuff that you have to like initiate from your computer. So like if you're not on your computer, nothing should be coming out to your computer and using your resources. Now your computer could automatically be like updating itself and reaching out for stuff like that, but like a stranger, unless they are purposefully nefarious and targeting you,
sure,
probably not going to be on your computer.
All right. No, that's good to know. That's good to know. I kind of forgot about the fact that the blockchain is this more specific use case of that, which is actually shared resource. Like we're using each other's computers to verify that the thing that's happening is happening, and we're decentralizing the processing of this.
Yeah, I don't really understand a lot of that.
A buddy of mine told me something funny about how someone wanted to start a blockchain t-shirt company, like to sell t-shirts online, but using blockchain. And he was explaining to us like how stupid that is, because it's like you don't need multiple verifications that somebody bought a t-shirt. Like,
no,
it's a t-shirt.
Yeah,
It's a physical product. It's not even like you're not trading like crypto or some other goofy bullshit or like that's diaphanous.
Right. It's not an NFT, or is it?
Maybe.
Is a t-shirt an NFT?
A non-fungible t-shirt?
It's a non-fungible t-shirt.
Don't funge my t-shirt.
You could make a t-shirt with that slogan on it. Copyright, trademark.
It's true. All of this belongs to Debut Buddies Incorporated. We're a subsidiary of Raytheon. Don't fuck with us.
We're also good friends with Boston Dynamics. We'll send those weird dogs to your house. Ugh.
No.
All right, I made myself sad.
Yeah.
Okay, vampire. Wait. I started a thought earlier with this book, this von Neumann guy. Prior to discussing that, we were talking about how people are just like inventing, leaping forward, following their curiosity. And there's something to be said with following your curiosity. That's important. But we lack a lot of like foresight. Like there's not a lot of like, how could this be used for evil being asked amongst software developers. And I've been to some big data conferences, and the thing that always freaks me out, it's called the Internet of Things. I think that phrase has reached the public zeitgeist. Yeah, so all of our fucking devices are connected now. That's the Internet of Things. And all of those devices are always capturing data about you. They're measuring how many times you changed your thermostat in a day and what range. They're measuring when you made your toast, when you were in your living room, when you went to bed. Like all of that is being captured in the Internet of Things. And you go to these big data conferences and they're like, imagine what we could do with all this data. We could predict things for our users. We could improve their lives measurably. And it's like, okay, yeah, maybe it would be nice for you to like make my toast for me before my alarm goes off. But also, all of that data could be stolen and used against me.
Yeah.
And like, they're not even thinking about that. So half of these things don't have the security. So they're susceptible to these viruses. And suddenly all of your information is being exposed. And one of the things that my computer science degree is a Bachelor of Arts, not a Bachelor of Science. Because
That's probably better.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you got a heart in there. You can't spell art. You can't spell heart without art.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that so many people in this field, like, we can't just have arts and sciences separate. Like,
yeah.
Like, especially people who are making these technologies that touch our lives, so not just touch our lives, they're like so entangled in our lives, like need to be reading way more broadly, because science fiction authors were writing about viruses before viruses existed. Yeah. So like the arts side of the world is already imagining these scenarios, and we need to pull that information over into the computer science part of the world, because they're too excitable.
and just from a, maybe this is gonna be a bad tangent, so I apologize in advance, but there is no life benefit to me like having a toaster that goes like, hey, do you want toast? Like, no. Fuck, I don't need my toaster to ask me. I don't need my toaster to be like, do you want your toast the same amount of toasted as you did yesterday? It's like, no, I don't want this. I don't really need my thermostat to evaluate things outside of like I already have functional metrics for these things, right? Like,
exactly.
My thermostat produces a bill, and the bill number is the thing I care about. From a functional living standpoint, like if I'm a multimillionaire, I might be beyond the point of paying attention to the bill, and then I'm like, I want to get really granular about the number of kilowatt hours I'm using and the exact amount of gas and the temperature gradients, and maybe I can hack this so that if the house is 68.23 degrees, I'm getting the most value out of this system and the highest efficiency. But like nobody really cares about that. Like they're going, my heating bill was $300. I need to turn the heat down because I can't afford to pay $300 next month. It's not functional, interesting data.
Yeah.
And it's not worth the cost. I'm not talking about the $300 bill. I'm talking about the like privacy invasion.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's absolutely not worth it. That isn't worth it.
There was a report I was listening to on NPR when I was driving yesterday, and it was about like how Google didn't release the face recognition stuff, even though that they created one, because they were like, we think that this is a step too far. And I was like, I in no way think that this could be used for good. And they tried to give me use cases where they were like, what if you forgot someone's name? And I was like, fuck it, then they don't know my name, and that's what's going to happen. And I don't know their name, and that's what should happen, and that's what it is. And I was like, there is not a use case that I can see this being beneficial, aside from like maybe like finding, no, not even if the person wants to be missing. Finding a missing person that's not wanting to be missing. Like that's the only one I could think of, but the amount that anybody who would have access to that would use it for bad is much higher.
They would find it, they would use it to find a person who didn't want to be missing and then make them missing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I saw commercials last night for the like Google Pixel 4 phone. I don't know if either of you have seen commercials for this. So they're marketing it as, hey, look at the cool AI assisted photography element we have in this new phone, where you can get the best version of everybody's face out of a group of 15 photos. So like you take a bunch of group photos, you hit best, and you get to pick, I want you to put this version of my face on my shoulders with that version of her face, and you get to doctor all this shit.
No, I don't like this. This is gross.
Or and the cheesy thing is they're like, here's a guy using a trampoline to dunk a basketball, and then he can use the Google to remove the trampoline from the photo, and then it's like, whoa, cool, it looks like I'm dunking. It's like, what is this for?
Also, we have Photoshop. Unreal. We've been able to do that.
This stuff exists, for one, and for two, like some of the best weird like printed photos that I still have are ones where one of us looks fucking stupid, but that's part of the deal.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
We're authentically stupid looking, because if we're all perfect all the time, then what is reality? There's nothing left.
Right. At that point, just like commission a painting. No, that's so strange. And honestly, so I've seen stills from that commercial. I didn't realize that was the phone. I just saw people like complaining about this on the internet. Even those photos have that like a tinge of uncanny valley.
No.
Like something is going on here. Something is off. I can't put my finger on it, but like maybe it's, you know what? That's what it is. It's that everybody looks too perfect. We need the like humanity in it.
Yeah.
Have you all seen the like? I mean, this has been going around at time of record this week, at least for me, or the last couple weeks, with the like your '90s high school pictures app.
Oh, I've
Like
seen this going around. Yeah.
that's been blowing up. All of those, I'm scrolling through other people I know who have done it. I'm like, that looks actually really convincing.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks false in that I can recognize that pretty much everybody's face looks like the level of like when I was 16, like I was way skinnier. My face had not filled out. Like I am tempted to try the app just to see what would happen, but I am also not going to, because
I know.
Again, it's like they say up front, "Oh, we're going to delete all your information. We don't keep it." And it's like, you can say that, but it has to go somewhere. And someone is like, this thing's picking up steam. Let's hack the shit where they temporarily hold that and scoop some face data.
And even if they don't have your data specifically, they ran that through their little algorithms and they learned from it. And I don't want to contribute to that.
Yeah.
Make it dumber.
Yeah.
I disagree.
And again, I'm probably going to sound like an idiot. At some point, like, viruses just sort of become a functional operating platform, right? Because a virus is just a program that acts on its own accord and seeks to propagate, right? Like it in the same way that a virus in nature is it's just out there to keep living. Like it's not doing stuff thoughtfully. It's just like, I'm going to go do this thing.
Yeah.
And some of these things, like, literally the concept of like something becoming memetically viral is that it like continues to propagate itself through us because we talk about it or we share it or whatever. That's a virus too. Like the way AI is sort of virally traveling through us is as problematic as Creeper. Had Creeper been able to get out and do anything, but Creeper was like a cute little like
he was just a little guy.
Yeah.
Started it all. I did think that Creeper was interesting. Like, so in 1971, this was this developed at ARPA? Was this people on the ARPA network?
Yeah, either that. Yeah, I want to say yes.
Yeah. So ARPA network, precursor to the internet. This was just like 50 computers that the government was working on. And I thought Creeper was interesting because it wasn't like, it was like evasive. Like it wasn't like, I've infected this computer and now I'm also going to infect this next computer. It transferred itself to the next computer and then deleted itself from the original computer. So it was only ever on one computer in the network.
Oh.
It just like inched along, which I guess is where worm comes from.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Cute.
Isn't that interesting? Like, that's how you can tell that it wasn't nefarious. Because if it was like actually evil, it would have just fucking destroyed everything. Speaking of, that's what I read this little anecdote about the vampire virus.
Yeah. Vampire.
Yeah. It was an iteration of a previous virus, maybe of Wabbit. I can't recall. When I saw the name, I was like, because you have to invite it in. No, it's because it's only active at night. So it was this virus that contaminated. I do think that this was still like ARPA, and it infected computers, but knew to wait until dark. Until everybody had gone home for the night, and then it like spread and infected everybody on the network and caused problems. But, and this is very interesting to me, the virus itself had a bug in the code. So it did not behave the way that they expected it to, and it ended up like fully destroying all of the computers on this was at a university, on this university's like lab computers. And when all the employees came in the next morning, they were like,
What?
like the computers wouldn't even turn on. It fucked them up so bad.
Whoa.
And they were like, whoa. So they're like trying to figure out what happened. There's no precedent for this, right? And they genuinely were like, how far did this get? Like this could have like been on our computers and then made it to a network switch on the broader ARPA network and jumped to all of the other computers in the network. Like, how big of a problem is this? And it didn't. It was just isolated to that lab. But like, how crazy to come in the morning and every computer in the room is broken, and you're like, what's the scope? And also, how do I find out what the scope is, because it's before the internet?
Yeah.
What if it did? What if it had jumped
Yeah.
and destroyed literally every computer in existence at the time?
Oh.
And we just collectively decided, like, maybe computers are a bad idea.
Yeah, just let it go. I think that
Might be good.
Lomas author, I think that you could whip up a book about this. Whip up, is that how you describe writing a novel? You could just whip up a book real quick.
You know, you get some water, some eggs,
yeah,
blank pages, stir it together.
That's it. That's all.
Throw it in the oven.
Yeah.
No, I think we'd all be
thought
so
oven.
much better off.
Yeah.
So much better off.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that, like, I absolutely love doing this podcast and seeing both of you over great distances through this amazing miracle of technology.
We would have found a way. We would have steampunked it. We would be listening to us on phonographs.
Think of how beefy one of our arms would be if we had to like hand crank
We'd be so
a telecommunications system that was just really long wires, and we had each paid like $50,000 to get wires run to each other's houses.
We'd really have to get that Patreon off the ground.
Viruses are just a microcosm of the nature of mankind. I'm going to say mankind because men tend to be the fulcrum point of this bullshit, right? Like the instigators of just like...
No, first computer programmer was a lady. Go on.
Yeah, but she was trying to make a thing that was good for people. She programmed.
Would a girl make a creeper? No, probably not.
She might, but it would be like a statement. Like, you know what I mean? It would have a point. She would be a hacktivist. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, go on, Nate. What was your point?
just that like it's constantly Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park, right? It's just like we think we can. We're not going to worry about whether we should or not. And just you keep doing that over and over and over again, despite the fact that there's just like a constant generational bombardment of both fictional and philosophical content that is like, hey, don't do it. Come on, guys, look, literally this never works out. Don't do it. Stop doing it. It's not going to work. It's going to be bad.
Stop doing it.
And then everybody wakes up every day and they're like, my job is to make
it's going to happen.
I got to make the torment nexus. Like the thing you said. Like, that's just my job. I'm not in charge of the torment nexus. they just need me to make it.
Oh God, see that a lot at work. For the record, I do not work on any of the AI stuff. And in fact, I roast it at work all the time, hoping to like, I don't know what I'm hoping to do. It's the one thing I can do. Like, I can't stop the big machine, but maybe I can stop some cogs from feeling enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
Well, people shouldn't. Like, it's disconcerting, this welcoming of this thing is convenient for me right now, theoretically, and I'm not going to worry about how it will be inconvenient because surely someone will do something about it. We never do anything about it. Like,
nobody's doing anything.
You mitigate it until somebody forgets about it, and then everything crashes. It's just what's going to happen for everything.
There's so much incompetence. Okay. I have a good example. I've got a good example. So, my company is behind the times. We describe ourselves as a tech company. We are not a tech company. And we are just now thinking about incorporating AI into our products. And we had a kickoff meeting not too long ago where people were very enthusiastic about it. Like, let's have a big meeting and show some POCs and talk about why we're so excited. And I go to this meeting, and the woman who's like presenting, women can be incompetent too, by the way. The woman who was presenting
Equal
is
opportunity.
like equal
Yeah.
opportunity. She's so excited about it. She's like, she does this whole presentation, and then at the end, she's like, and let me close with a haiku that I asked the AI to write.
Okay.
I put in my criteria.
Listeners,
It wrote
my
a
eyes
poem.
went very wide. I just want everybody to know, like,
It
I
wrote
just
a
looked at
poem.
myself in the Zoom screen reflection and was like, I look terrified.
Yeah. Oh boy. This was actually a very dystopian moment for me.
Oh
So
God.
she's like, it wrote a haiku, like it can do art as well as programming. And so she reads the haiku. It's not a haiku. The syllables are wrong. It isn't a haiku.
Hmm.
And
Cute.
everybody was like, ooh, ah. And I was like, it's not the thing. It isn't the thing. She asked it to do the thing and it didn't do the thing. Why are you so excited? And I was like looking around.
Being like, does anybody know what a haiku is? Does anybody know what a haiku is?
And like doubly so, because a haiku is supposed to be about nature. We don't have to get into that. Just like get the fucking syllables right. And so I'm like looking around and like, did anybody notice? Did anybody notice this? And no, but nobody did. Nobody seemed to know what a haiku was. And I was like, okay, so this was okay. So AI looks crazy impressive if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
And also,
I feel very passionately about that as well.
It's gonna like continue to succeed because the 400 people in this meeting
don't know what a haiku is.
Fucking notice. I was like, I'm fucking crazy right now.
I mean, it speaks to the terrifying lowest common denominator nature of reality, right? Which is just like, well, if AI can just make something that sort of makes people chuckle, that's good enough. We don't need shows anymore. Like, it says this is a haiku. Oh, well, it'll just be haiku then because eventually the AI will erase all records of what haikus actually are, right?
Oh, God. I didn't even, oh my God, you're right. I have been trying to tell people that the way OpenAI has been trained. Have you guys heard this? Have you heard this? Do you know about this?
No.
That OpenAI there's like a rule that it won't train on anything on the internet past 2022.
Yeah.
Because that's when it started contributing stuff to the internet. And so that becomes like a snake eating its own tail if it's training itself off the stuff that it created. And so the quality of its work gets worse and worse and worse. So how are we gonna
supposed to trust anything at all ever
overcome that? Like either it is only trained up to 2022 for forever, or it's gonna start having to figure out how to weed out its own work because it can't trust its own work. So why are any of us trusting its own work? And then at that point, people are reading what it created, generating their own stuff based on that, a foundation of sand, and then it's going to train itself on that, which is also bad. So like, what are we doing here? What's the plan here?
We're creating a reality where people in quote unquote in charge in 10 years are going to base decisions off of the rantings of a machine talking about what a machine told another machine told another machine told another machine about something it heard in 2022. And this becomes a comedy bit, except that it's going to kill us all.
Yeah. God, I'm just begging CTOs around the world to read one science fiction novel. Just one. And I'm not even going to tell you which one. Just grab one off the shelf.
Yeah.
Just grab one. Go to your library. Grab one.
Really read it. Think about talking to another adult about it too. Not just reading it and then going, I got it.
Exactly.
Because guess what?
Yeah.
You probably didn't. You want to read it. You want to read Robert Heinlein and realize, hey, he's hyper militaristic and this is a commentary on something and it needs to be taken as such. Or you need to read Gibson.
You're right.
Guess what? This is about the human detachment from reality and self.
Oh, God, you're right. They're not going to understand any of this. They're going to be like, Space Army, sick.
I want a space army. I want a katana sword and to date a child delivering a pizza girl. Like, no, stop.
Is this a career that I could invent? Can I become a consultant for tech companies around the world and like teach them about the humanities? Because I speak both languages, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bilingual.
I think I want to, in all seriousness, I think this has legs. I think what needs to happen, and I mean this very seriously, we need to put together a very compelling presentation about this concept. We need to take it to the European Union because that is the only place where they actually try to fix anything.
Yeah.
We need to get them to set a standard like they did with Apple's charging cables.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're the whole reason we're not going to have lightning cables anymore. We need to go and be like, hey, look, none of these assholes understand what they're trifling with. And what I want to do is go in and remind them that, like, look, do you like this picture of your son on your desk? And when they go, oh, it's AI generated, you slap them in the face.
Yeah.
Right?
you break the glass.
Yeah.
You take a bite out of the picture.
And we need someone to be like, hey, wait. You can't do that. Like, bad is happening. Bad is already happening.
Yeah.
I feel like people either vastly underestimate or vastly overestimate the consequences here. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's nothing. This means nothing. This is a fad. And I wish that hopefully that's what it is. Hopefully those people
that would be adorable.
Right. That would be sick. And then there are people who are like, it has a consciousness. It is like a person.
It's already alive and we're mistreating it and it's going to become angry at us.
Right. Like, people imagine it as like infallible, like closer to God than a computer. And that's sort of a branding problem. Like, intelligence is too big of a word. It's just a very sophisticated algorithm. But for now.
But yeah, if it's out there collecting data and it is trained to draw conclusions from that data, it doesn't have to be intelligent to go, oh, this column's longer than this column. I need to make these match. And it'll do whatever it takes to do that. And we don't know what the exact consequences
that we were talking about. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Did you guys read that story about the guy who took his own life after talking to a chatbot?
Oh, God. No.
This was just a couple months ago. He was talking to, it wasn't ChatGPT. I forget the name of it. It was like Cassandra or something. Sort of a off-brand ChatGPT, but I think that it was still OpenAI behind the scenes. So like the same core technology, just with like a different mask on. And so he got to talking to this chatbot specifically about climate change. He was very passionate about climate change. Got to talking to this computer about climate change, and like the records of these conversations were pulled after his death, and he was like treating her like a person.
Yeah.
And also the language from the chatbot was very interesting. It had painted it was taking on the character of the other woman. And so it was saying things like, I feel that you're closer to me than you are to your wife. Like, he just got drawn into this narrative, and the chat bot was essentially like, there's no overcoming climate change. There's nothing that you can do. If you die, we can be together.
Whoa, so God. What? No. Oh,
that's already
God.
fucking happening. That's already fucking happening.
Oh my God. Every one of these stories is just like
I know, dude.
This is a nightmare. All of these are nightmares that are real. I'm so unsettled.
Yeah, this is very not good unsettling. Out there, dude. It's not good out there, dude.
Oh, I just asked ChatGPT how much I need to pay for my chimney without getting screwed over. That's it. That's the only thing. We shouldn't be having conversations with them. They're not cha-cha.
God, I miss Cha Cha. Y'all remember Cha Cha? Chelsea clearly does.
I don't. It sounds adorable though. Now I
Was
want
that
one.
what was the number? 779? No, it must have been CHA.
Let me look at it. I can
CHA.
pull it.
It
Yeah.
must have been CHA.
242 242.
242 242.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
I now remember what 779 is, and I'm not going to say it on the pod.
Great.
Tell you later.
Good.
Okay.
Subscribe to our Patreon at the $1,000 a month level to find out
I'll tell you what that is.
means.
Don't Google it.
Oh, I'll just change it. It's the code to my suitcase.
Nice. If you want to hack Kelly's suitcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing in
Oh,
there.
God.
There's like a curling iron that doesn't work.
Just to bring it back though, because we're going to very dark realities.
Yeah, we're bumming ourselves out.
Yeah.
But all of this starts with somewhat starts with a cute little creeper whose job is just to go creeping around.
Okay, so one fact is when the creeper was created, we didn't have the word virus for this type of thing. Yeah, that didn't come until the 80s, mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's
First
wild.
virus existed and not until years later. And the people who coined the term when they created their virus did not know about the creeper. Like the internet still wasn't broad enough for information like that to spread. And so they just had never heard about the creeper or previous iterations. They were like, we invented this thing. And it wasn't until later that like these dots were drawn, or the line was drawn from these dots. But here is the other thing. Here's my anecdote is when you suggested this topic, it tickled my brain. It tickled my memory. And I was like, I wrote a thing in my computer science schooling in college that was a type of virus. And I couldn't remember all of the details. And so last night I logged onto my computer and was like, there's no way that this project from 2008 is on here. But guess what, bitches? It was.
Yay.
Because I am a digital hoarder. And so I found the code, and which is C, which is crazy. Maybe not to you guys. To me, I was like, that's crazy. I used to write in this language. And so I read it, and it was this little project that made it. It's called forking. Maybe you guys have heard this term. Fork bomb. No. So
No.
this is a type of virus, or maybe a bug. Bugs are how I've usually encountered it, which is where the thing that you are running spawns off a bunch of other processes, which are called forks, and each of those forks does the same thing. And so it's like the virus graph that you see, like one person infects two people, and then those two people infect two people, and so on and so on. Yeah, multi-level marketing. Yeah. And so a fork bomb is a program that does that and takes down your computer. That's not quite what this project is more contained than that, but it does two forks. So you've got two processes. And if you kill one, the other forks a new process to do what the first one was doing. So and this was like a cutesy project. It was called Robin and Tuck, and one is playing Robin Hood and one is playing Friar Tuck. And so they like print to the console when you kill one, its little personification is like, say you're killing Robin Hood, it's like, Friar Tuck, I'm under attack. And then Friar Tuck says, don't worry, I'll rouse the sheriff. And then he revives the thread, and then Robin is like, thank you for saving me. So I kicked this off. It's very cute.
Yeah.
But I kicked it off last night and then was like, I don't know how to turn this off. Because you kill one and the other starts it again. And I was like, well, certainly drawn myself into a corner. I figured it out, but
good.
What did you have to do? Like what do you do?
It's not going to make sense to you. I found they each have a process ID. I found not the parent process ID, but the group process ID. Killed them both.
So you tell all of them to do a thing, to stop doing a thing, rather than trying to tell one of them individually to stop doing a thing, because basically, the other one will rescue.
Sherwood.
Nice. Okay.
Great job. Great job.
Yeah.
Real
proud.
Oppenheimer. Real Oppenheimer moment for you.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to get in the Mouthgarf report?
Yeah.
Mouthgarf.
The Mouthgarf Report. Open wide.
All right. I posted a very adorable caterpillar that I found
I saw it.
crossing a path in the park.
Yeah. Just a little fuzzball.
But he's got Garf elements because he's like largely orange.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's fuzzy and he's garfing across the street. So yeah, got that happening. My Reddit feed is now filled with what kind of bug is this? And then a photo of a bug.
Were you Googling what kind of bug is this? Like, how did your...
I think it listened to
It's
us
listening.
doing this.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then
it's
it was
listening.
like, I think he wants to see bug shit.
And you're like,
And then it's like,
I
oh.
do. So
Because like some people post like, oh, here's an assassin bug. This other person posted a horrifying image of like an engorged tick on its back, just like bloaty with its little legs kicking around.
Oh no.
But also like cute little beetles and fun little dudes just
Yeah.
hanging out. Like it's fun because it sure seems like there's some educated people on Reddit who really just like answering and be like, oh yeah, that's one of these things. And then I can go like look it up on Wikipedia or whatever and be like,
Yeah. Check
they
your
appear to
sources.
be correct. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Trust, but verify.
But if you type it into Google, you will not find it. But
No.
Reddit
No.
will, in fact, find it for you.
Yes. Reddit
Every time.
it has a brain trust of human brains, not
Yeah.
evil
Mhm.
robot brains.
So far.
Yeah, I wonder if a study's been done against trying to find an answer to something on Reddit versus using AI.
Mm.
I feel like
Yeah.
I would find out. Well, they would use Reddit as a source probably.
Oh my God.
Would they?
I just found out about this. Hold on. This is going to make sense.
No.
This happened a while ago, but I only just found out about it. So one of the founders of Reddit
Yeah.
was like a hacktivist, and he was he believed that all information should be available to everybody. And so he was like getting articles and stuff from JSTOR, which is like
Oh yeah.
where
yeah.
something like this would be published, and making it available for download. And that is illegal. So he faced a lot of charges, and he ended up taking his own life because of
Jeez.
the fallout of that.
Oh.
That's insane. That is insane. Sorry to bring us down.
Yeah.
It's fine. This is a very
I
downer
only
episode.
have
That's
bad
okay.
news today.
Since we're in this horrifying techno AI rabbit hole, like, I mean, this is what we're doing. We're doing this.
We gotta stop. We gotta
And
stop
what do we
doing
want?
it.
What do we
Stop
really
doing
want?
it.
We want Garfs, okay?
Yeah.
Garfs.
All the garfs.
Garfs.
We just want lasagna.
Yeah,
Oh,
We
lasagna.
We want to abolish Mondays.
naps.
Oh,
Yes.
naps.
Get
Fuck
in
yeah,
some
naps.
naps.
Fuck
Get
with some
out
naps.
some Mondays.
We want to mail stuff to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Let's get some kitties to Abu Dhabi. Let's make
Yeah.
John think he's crazy.
Yeah, let's gang stalk
Mhm.
John.
John's gonna drink
Perfect.
dog semen at the vet because
Oh,
he's
God,
embarrassed
no.
in front of a
dog
lady.
semen
Yeah.
comic. Oh boy, I don't have Garf or bug news, but I do
Mm.
have mouth news.
Let's talk
Ooh.
mouth.
Chelsea already knows about this because I texted
Oh,
her.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Let
distressed
me
the other
get
night.
out my. We're gonna actually talk about mouth kit.
Yeah.
Of
Get your
ceremonial
monocle or
garb. We're just gonna go
binoculars.
ahead and get listeners. I'm putting on a top hat.
Oh God, he's put on like a robe, like a house coat.
Yeah, yeah. I'm holding a pipe now.
Yeah.
I'm swirling a
A scotch. No,
Oh,
a
God.
scope. A scope.
yeah. Yes, it's actually Act. It's a 1994
Oh,
Act
sure.
vintage.
Mm,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah. The fluoride's all at the bottom, but the flavor's still there.
The sediment is part of it. You learn to appreciate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you have to use a decanter.
Oh God. Okay. So a few nights ago, it was late last week, I thought for sure I had a new cavity. I had a horrible toothache. And I was like, we're gonna see what comes of that. But it hurt so bad that I like was only opening my mouth like a little tiny baby bit. I could only chew on one side.
Oh no.
And I was just sort of like keeping my jaw like clamped closed because
Yep.
it hurt so bad. And over the next few days, because I come from a family where you don't call the doctor, you hope that you die and then you don't have to deal with it. So I like wasn't taking any action. Over the next few days, my like cheek started to swell.
Oh God.
And then like my whole jaw hurt up into my ear. I was like, like, what is happening? And then a few nights ago, I yawned, a big old yawn, cracked my jaw, popped it back into place. I don't have a cavity, didn't have a toothache. My jaw was just dislocated.
You had it's like a TMJ thing.
I guess so. My jaw has always been sort of poppy inny outy, but it's never, this hasn't happened. This is a whole new thing. This is brand new. It's nice that our bodies can still surprise us.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what I used to have to do when my jaw was at its worst. Every morning I would have to do a very large yawn. And the worst days were whenever my yawn wouldn't pop it. And I would have to just take my mouth and just like
force it open.
Pop it open. Yeah, some days it just felt some days I was like, I'm really worried I'm just gonna break my jaw because I would have to pop it so wide to make it go back into place. But yeah.
That's why I texted you first.
Yeah, I was like,
I know that she has experience.
I was like, God bless. I was so happy. And that amount of relief, because I know what you're talking about when you feel that. I haven't had one stay that long, but like where you just feel like you can't, and it just hurts if you move it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a terrible feeling.
I wasn't even trying anything because I thought like I'm gonna have to get a root canal. Like I just thought fucked up tooth. So it never even crossed my mind. Oh God. And then when it like the relief was instant. It was like so much pain to no pain. So fast.
That's beautiful.
Man.
I'm just glad there wasn't like an AI back there.
Oh, thank God. Can you imagine? Or maybe it was an AI back there.
Could have been.
How can you be sure?
They were trying to stop you from recording this episode.
Yeah, they knew. They knew.
They've infiltrated our Zoom. We saw that today. So.
Oh no, it's the Pulse.
It's the Pulse. Yeah, go check out our episode on Pulse over on Never Show the Monster. Nate joined us.
Yeah. Everyone should also listen to the first episode of Debut Buddies when we talked about the first podcast, which was about well-meaning tech people talking about how you can use the Internet of Things to do positive stuff. And then we talked to the actual guy.
And then we talked to the guy, Mark Smith.
And he's trying to put fucking guardrails on some shit, but you know, the shit's getting further and further away all the time.
Yeah. We're unskinning a cat is what we're trying to do. Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway,
I have no Garf news. I don't have any mouth news. I have started playing a new video game.
What is it?
So Ryan and I started playing Overcooked 2.
Okay.
That game is really stressful and I don't know how I feel about it. And that's where I'm at. But I have heard someone on the radio talk about cozy games today. And I was like, I think I may be going back into my cozy era. So I'll let you guys know. Oh, there was a cat on my balcony
That's
today.
Right.
It wasn't. It had an orange on it. It was striped and it had orange. Not a lot of orange. It was mostly like gray and black.
But it was Garf leaning.
Had a little bit, little tiny pieces of orange all over it. It was a very scared cat, so I couldn't go out, and I left out food. And I was worried that they were stuck on my balcony. But then the cat was in the front yard whenever I got back. And I was like, oh, thank God, because I did not know if I could get you into a carrier to come back down.
Is this a situation where someone put Garf into an AI and we got that cat, which was not actually a Garf, but the AI doesn't really know because it's like a haiku situation?
Yeah.
Could they start using drones to create holograms? Will we even know it's real anymore? Am I even talking to you guys?
No. Hard to say.
Oh.
We all burned down 50 years ago.
Well, that's fair.
Debut Buddies. Why, I haven't heard that name in 50 years.
Would you like to play a game? Can we play a game real quick?
Sure, why not?
Hold on. Would you like to play a game? That's a computer.
It is. It is a computer reference. It's
Oh, no.
from the movie
Is it?
War Games with
Yeah, there it
Matthew
is.
Broderick and Ali Sheedy
Oh.
and
Yeah.
NORAD and an AI.
That's right. We played, sorry, I know we're trying to transition. We played a drinking game in college to that movie where you take a drink every time Ali Sheedy asks a question, because this is very, very early, very, very misogynistic.
Sure.
And
Oh.
this bitch does not make a fucking statement in the whole goddamn movie. Everything is a question mark.
Just super inquisitive.
Oh my God. You like computers. Could have been a statement. Huh? Why?
Yeah. And I really haven't seen that movie in years, so it probably isn't even very good.
Same.
It's an old ass movie.
It's old.
Should we start a new podcast called Old Ass Movies where we just talk about old ass movies?
I don't know that I have
Yeah.
enough time in my
Yeah.
week to start watching more movies, but like a one-off, I think that could be our Patreon special feature.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah. We'll do a one-off where we watch 100 old ass movies and then we talk about them.
I was thinking more like once a month, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. No, none of this is actually going to happen. Probably we'll forget by the time we're even done recording.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
It's time to play. I see what you did there.
Yay.
This one's going to be all about computer stuff.
Oh.
You both
You
brought up
got this.
organically a couple of the references here, so
Oh,
you're going to be
perfect.
doing great. You're going to be doing
Sick.
great already.
Sick.
Okay. So just get excited. Get excited.
Man. What if you don't know computer stuff, though? Are these questions
Yeah.
going to be factual?
A good. Yeah.
They're
We'll
all
find
going to
out.
be
We'll
computer
find out.
adjacent stuff. I'm not going to talk about boot records and whatever other terms that I don't know.
You know what? At the
Uh-huh.
end of the last episode, you were like, what programming language do you think
yeah.
the first virus was written in?
Yeah.
And you
Oh.
made a joke about JavaScript, and I was like, no, I bet it was registers. It was assembly, which is the name of a programming language that uses registers. So
Holy
fucking
shit.
crushed
Nice
it.
All right. I mean, okay.
Is that one of the
you-
questions? Did
win.
you already jump ahead?
You win. We don't even have to do.
Yeah.
We don't even have to do this now. You have defeated.
Okay,
me.
great. That's fine.
I mean, I guess everything uses registers if you dig deep enough. But this one, you were
For sure.
managing the registers yourself. Okay, anyway. go on.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
I like it. It's like when you're
Sorry.
running a mom and pop store. You're managing the registers yourself.
Uh-huh.
That's not that far off.
Cha-ching.
Yes. Yeah. That's one of the
Lovely.
functions.
Oh.
Before functions.
Yay!
More than functions.
I'm a broken clock. All right. Number one. This is an honorary title given to a player who leads his fellow players or her fellow players. And Johnny Lee Miller, Angelina Jolie, and Matthew Lillard want you to hack this in the movie Hackers.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, I can't remember what they were hacking. I just remember that what's his face was Zero Cool. That was one of his hacker names.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They yell this. They exclaim this thing. They say, hack the...
Oh. Is it mainframe?
Mainframe?
No.
No, think
System?
bigger.
Is it just
Think-
the system?
Think way bigger. Think infinitely bigger than a system or a mainframe.
Is it the net?
Think more
Planet.
terrestrial. Yeah,
That's
there you
right.
go.
They were hacktivists.
Yeah.
It's coming back to me. Okay.
So planet, correct. So what is the honorary title given to a player who leads his or her fellow players?
The MV Planet? No.
Oh.
Think about-
Captain Planet? No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was going for
He's a
Team Captain
hero.
Planet. Team Captain
I had
Planet.
Team
but-
Captain.
Okay.
I had Team Captain written down.
But Captain Planet, yes. You see what I did there. You see it.
Oh, we
He's
do.
a hero.
You
Why
saw
didn't we
it
talk
so
about
well, you
Captain-
walked right
Well,
by.
we didn't talk about Captain Planet himself, so that upsets me.
I know.
But there was no part. That's It's fine.
I'll
Missed
bring-
opportunity.
I'll bring
Didn't see
actual
what you did
Captain
there.
Planet.
Could have done something. You didn't do it.
Maybe I'm foreshadowing a later episode when I'm going to talk about actual Captain Planet.
Sure.
Chelsea.
Sure.
There are
Try to save yourself
machinations
now.
going
Try to
on
save
here.
yourself now.
I am 60% AI, so I am learning from my own self and my own mistakes, so that I will do this worse next week.
Oh God.
Number 2, MDEF, a Macintosh virus that infected menu definition resource fork files in the 1990s, was also referred to by this lazy but presidential feline name. And Kevin Costner built it, and people came, even ghosts came in this movie.
Garfield of Dreams.
Garfield of Dreams. You see what I did there? You got it. You
Good.
got it.
My pen stopped
Oh.
working during that, so
Boy,
that's good timing.
I got really hung up on presidential. And it's right there. I don't know why that was so hard for me.
Garfield was the name of a virus, an early Macintosh
Oh.
virus. Isn't
I
that
love it.
cute?
I love it.
super cute.
Right.
Was it doing something cat-like? Because one of the other earlier, actually, Creeper was named after a Scooby-Doo character.
Oh,
Oh. You pulled Creeper's mask off and it was Old Man Carruthers?
Yeah. Yeah. Old Man Carruthers was too long to type.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, you've only got like 11 characters total on the screen. Old Man Carruthers is like 40
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, that's way too long.
It's too much. Too much. Number 3. This John, known for his virus fighting company, had his death become a font of conspiracy theories. And this is an internet don't when it comes to taking care of provocative social media posters.
McAfee the Trolls?
oh,
You see
nice.
what I did there. You see what I did
Sick.
there. McAfee the
Sick.
Trolls.
Wait,
Well
his
done.
death was conspiracy theory laden?
Yeah, everybody thinks that like he was because he
Uploaded into the
he
machine?
apparently committed suicide,
Ooh.
but everybody thinks that like he was
Oh.
murdered by
He
someone.
was. Whoa.
Yeah.
I believe it.
There was some sort of I think there was like there was something to do with his ex-wife or relationships or something.
Oh,
he,
not
like,
governmental?
Disappeared to Mexico and then he's dead. And somebody's like, someone killed him. Right.
Mm.
I didn't dig very deep into it, just deep enough to write that question, which you hammered into the floor.
You know, he started the antivirus business because he got hit with one of these viruses early in the day. And he was like, man, fuck this.
I'm going to make sure that everybody pays me so this doesn't happen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of the BBN ones. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big Booty Nation.
Yep.
That's...
Big Booty Nation.
Okay. Number 4. This is the last one. Number 4. This is a confection consisting primarily of sugar, honey, and almond meal. And this cooperative epidemiological disaster board game was a lot more fantastical before March 2020.
Mars a pandemic?
Mars a pandemic. You see what I did there? Fuck.
My God.
You guys are so
Oh my
good.
Mhm.
God,
Mhm.
dude.
We're growing. We're growing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we're doing.
You
My
did it.
pen ran out. This is what happens if I focus on the question and I don't write at the same time. I don't ask you to repeat
Oh,
it
yeah.
4 times.
Woo! You did it. You did it. That's it.
dang.
That's it. We get a
Yay.
okay. So we're gonna talk Debs, but I want to remind us that we have a new Debs scale because after the film Debs, the
Mm.
scale is now 1 to 12. Debs
Yeah.
is 12.
Yeah.
Nothing else will ever be Debs.
Correct.
Probably. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe something could.
I
be,
know.
but it is extremely unlikely anything else will be Debs ever
Yeah.
again. So 1 through 4,
Hmm.
5 through 8, it's okay, pretty good. 9 through 11, excellent.
Okay.
So what do we think about? What do we think? Okay, what are we even rating here? Because we mostly didn't talk about Creeper because there wasn't a lot to
Yeah.
talk about.
It
And
was
if I
just a
have to
tiny
go-
guy.
If I do have to go off of our conversation, it was pretty rough this time.
Yeah.
I mean, love talking to you guys, but I'm kind of sad now.
Yeah,
So if
yeah,
I'm being honest with you,
I'm sad.
I might say it's a 6 for me because of the sadness that I feel starting off with Human Centipede, going
No, that was
through
my
just
favorite
the-
part.
yeah, it really. We
So
started
that's-
high.
That's the 11 is
We peaked
the
early.
beginning. But yeah, so this now I'm gonna think about things after this, which is a bummer. I don't like doing that.
No thinking. We decided no more thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't feel good. What are we rating? What did we decide? What are we rating?
Whatever you want.
If I'm
whatever
doing
you
the
want to
virus
rate.
itself, I do it like a 9 because it's like cute. It's cute.
Yeah.
Cute. I wish that it had destroyed all of those machines, though.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, because then people wouldn't have trifled
anywhere.
with it, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, we cannot ever do this again.
This is gonna destroy us one day.
Because there was no like touching the hot stove moment with this. It's just always been like, oh
Right.
no, I'll just turn the stove off. And then eventually the stove is gonna come marching at you like, you've been baking
Yeah.
all the time, and I can tell you exactly how many calories you've baked, and also I'm killing you.
Yeah.
All right.
Do it.
What kind of data are you gonna get from it?
You filled me with 12,472 muffins, and now I'm going to fill you with 12,472 muffins.
So we're gonna get how many muffins can fit in a human body before it bursts.
Yeah.
Oh, huh. I mean, do you need to have like a set amount of people to test it out on? Just like,
Oh yeah,
it's got to be a different.
Got to get an average.
Do we have to get an average? Yeah.
Yeah. You need a control group.
There's
like,
definitely gonna be
who
outliers.
do we explode
Kobayashi.
using other stuff?
Oh, and you know what? We probably also need to test different types of muffins.
And bran muffin, go straight through. Yeah. Okay. No, we are starting this really gross and we're ending it really gross. Is what
That's
I'm.
the way to do it.
We're also gonna have to test in different countries because of different tolerances.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Subscribe for our Patreon. We're gonna send you a basket of muffins. Just eat them all at once.
And then let us know.
And send us your data.
Let us know.
Yeah, right in.
We're official intelligence, so send us that. I don't know. What's the opposite of artificial? Natural
Organic,
sweetener.
Natural? Yeah, we're natural.
Organic. We're organic intelligence.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
Send it to us. We're organic intelligence. We're changing the name of the podcast.
So 11 out of 12 just on that.
Organic dummies. We should do organic dummies if we're being honest.
Organic dummies.
Oh no.
I think I'm gonna agree with 6, I suppose, if we are doing out of 12, because some of the early stuff is very fascinating. Like thinking about the people who were so creative and could imagine these things decades before the technology was there. That's crazy. Humans are capable of so much, which is why we should not be offloading the so much to computers.
We should be organic. Yep, agreed.
Like, I love when authors are imagining these things, and when computer scientists are imagining them. Shut it down. No. Talk to somebody who understands, who's in the humanities before you get going. So I'm split. Split.
Look, I'm gonna agree. I agree. I think Creeper's adorable.
Yeah.
I think our impending machine demise is terrifying. So we're gonna average that out.
Should we all just vote 12? Sorry, 12. We love our computer.
Oh, so the machines know. Yeah, we love you guys. You're devs. You're devs. We love you. You can have all of my kilobytes if you want them.
Yeah.
Is that what you want? Do you want?
Is that what you want?
You want kilobytes? Can I?
Oh no.
So six is though really all around, which means this was a real mid journey for us. Am I right?
I see what you did there.
For our next episode, we're gonna turn over a holiday season leaf. Is that a phrase? You turn over a qualified leaf? Probably not.
Yeah, it's gonna be a poinsettia. We're gonna turn over a poinsettia.
It's gonna be like, shiny
Mistletoe?
and undecorated. It's gonna be metallic.
Yeah,
kind of pole-like.
I forgot what we were doing.
Yes,
we're gonna talk about the first Festivus, which occurs in the episode of Seinfeld titled "The Strike."
Mhm.
No,
So
I
we're
did
gonna
not
watch
watch
that. We're gonna watch that episode. We're gonna watch that episode of Seinfeld. We're gonna find out about pop culture's first Festivus and Kramer. Kramer is experiencing
Mhm.
Festivus for the first time in this episode, and that's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna
And
air
it's
grievances.
also
Then we can air
yeah.
our grievances on the show. Exactly.
It's also
Got
going
a
to be
lot
my
of 'em.
first Seinfeld episode.
Kelly's first
Whoa!
Seinfeld episode. Wow.
That's a good starter.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are going to be either very entertained or very confused.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
Both.
What
It's a
are
show
they
about
doing?
nothing. I'll probably be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, so you know enough about it.
I know
in
so
the-
much about it that I'm
Oh,
not,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
genuinely.
It's
Yeah,
like you've
I know
watched
it all.
all of it already.
Like, for example, I proposed this.
And you were right. You were right to do it.
Thank you.
I asked AI and they said you were right to do
Don't get my name out of your mouth.
Uh,
Come back in 2 weeks for Merry
Yeah.
Festivus. Is that what we say?
Yeah.
Or is it happy? Happy or merry?
it's a Festivus for the rest of
it.
us.
It's a
I don't-
Festivus for the rest of us. Yeah, I don't.
Oh.
It's not. Things are.
Is it
There's
happy
there's
Festivus?
stuff.
I'll find
It's
out.
not
I'll
really
find
about
out.
celebrating
find out.
anything.
Okay.
We'll get there.
yeah.
Listeners, if you like this podcast, subscribe, rate, review. Go to Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Tell us in the review how you're going to help fight our AI overlords or how you're going to support them.
Yeah.
We want you to show your coat now, okay?
Yeah.
I want to know where
Yeah.
you're at.
Or tell us where to pirate things now, and can we
Yeah,
get an
that'd be
invite
nice.
code? Is it still invite codes? Is that
Oh, yeah.
still how
Mhm.
we're doing it?
That sounds like a thing.
Is
Sure.
Pirate Bay still a thing? No, it shut down when I was in high school. Anyway, go on.
Give us a review. That we would really appreciate it. Give us an honest review. That's fine. Just 5 stars. 5 stars so people will listen to this more. Heck, you know what you can do? Go person to person. Don't rely on the computer. Tell somebody
Yeah.
you know. If you're like, hey, you know
Yeah.
what? These chuckleheads, this dummy and his 2 very smart, very attractive co-hosts are entertaining to me, and I would like you to listen to them as well. Tell them Debut
Make
Buddies
it a-
exists.
Make it a thought virus. You tell 2
Yeah.
friends, and then they'll tell 2 friends,
Oh.
etc., etc., etc.
Consider using coercion, like I won't be your friend anymore if you don't listen to Debut
Yeah.
Buddies, or we're not having sex again until you listen to Debut Buddies.
Yeah.
These are great options. It's very healthy. That's what we're about on this show. It's about health,
We
wealth,
love and
something else.
ultimatum.
If you like the music, Michael J. O'Connor. Go to michaeljoconnor.bandcamp.com. All of his music is made by a human man
Perfect.
in his human domicile with physical instruments played with his actual fingers. No robots involved. I mean, there's some pedals and stuff. Those are
Okay.
types of... Look, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
It's good shit. Listen to his music.
And
you
you're
can
defending that really hard.
and you and you can buy some science fiction books where we trifle with the terror of AI, including a collection we put together quite a while ago called "The Future Will Be Built by Robots."
Oh.
You can read these books.
And if you want to listen to a more lighthearted podcast
Yeah,
about
yeah.
scary movies,
Yeah,
come find me and Chelsea over at Never Show the Monster. And sometimes Nate is there, including our episode on the movie Pulse,
Pulse.
where we
That's
talked
right.
about viruses of a
yeah.
kind.
It's specifically about the pulse setting on your blender that you use to
That's it.
grind up ice.
Yep. Make
Pulse.
sure to only use pulverize.
Are we talking about Unfriended now? What do you guys do?
Oh, that's right.
Oh
there
yeah,
was
that
the
guy
blender
that
in
guy blended
Unfriended.
himself. Oh
Yeah,
man,
That episode's also over there if you guys want to
True.
check it
sure
out.
is.
there's deep waters over there.
Yeah.
I'm wading through some of them with them. I will be back.
Mhm.
You'll let me
Mhm.
come back someday.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
That
That's-
sounded so unconvincing.
No.
I was being genuine. That's just what my voice sounds like.
I'm gonna edit it before you qualified any of that because it's better that
Uh-huh.
way.
Yeah. No, we
Yeah,
are.
of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
The door's always open. Sure.
Now, where did I put that key?
Draws blinds. Don't come
oh
in here.
boy,
Yeah. Festivus. Next time.
Festivus.
Yay.
Thanks so much for spending time with us on this episode of Debut Buddies. This has been a lot of fun for
Yeah,
everyone.
so much.
We had such a
Yeah,
good
parts of
time. And Yoha!
Yoha!
Bye, buddies.
Oh.